Hey guys, it's Melissa here with my friend Chelsea Behrens. She is a personal development coach and speaker, and she has her own personal development platform called Rising to the Occasion. Welcome, Chelsea.
Thank you, Melissa. It's awesome to be here.
So pumped to have you here to talk with my community and just to have us talk to each other because you really focus on authenticity and you put together a whole interview series with top experts really focusing on this topic, and I think it's really important for the balanced community to learn about this more because it really affects all aspects of our life and our overall well-being.
Yes. Yes. Authenticity, Melissa, to me is so important. And it's really how I've structured the foundation of my life. Because I feel like if you are not showing up truly as you are not only not serving yourself, you're not serving others. Because if we don't use our voice and express our own uniqueness and experiences and what we can bring to the table, then people don't get to see that. And that just means we're like everybody else, right? If we try to match what other people do, or if we're concerned about pleasing others rather than hitting on what we can bring to the table, then we're just matching up to other people and we're not expressing what we truly have to offer, our gifts.
Yes, beautiful. And our power, it's so important to put that out there into the world. Don't
Mhm.
conform. Don't conform.
Yeah,
That's not what the universe wants. It
right.
it wants you to be who you truly are. And
Hmm.
I serve high performers, so people who are very driven and ambitious and determined and achieve goals and have success in their life. And sometimes they get caught up in self-doubt and people pleasing and even perfectionism sometimes that really holds them back from who they truly are and what they're
Yeah.
really capable of. So I'm just so thrilled to have an expert, talk with us on this topic and some things that we can do to
Hmm.
really kind of unhook us from not being authentic. So
Yes.
can we kind of start there because you
Yeah.
talk about it a little bit. So what
Hmm.
are some key factors that
Hmm.
stop us?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and all of those components that you brought up, self-doubt, perfectionism, etc. I've hit all of those in my life. And in fact, I ended up staying, you too. Yeah, I ended up staying in a role even though I knew it wasn't the right role for me, because I wasn't sure who I was. Even though I felt like I was showing up as me, there was a transition. So there had to be some time for me to figure out, okay, what is shifting? So I know that you and I connect on values. So knowing what you value in your life,
Mhm.
uh, some of the things I value, one of them is leadership. One of them is personal development. One of them is growth. One of them is contribution, right? Knowing those values is sets us up for success, because then once we know that, we can align with those values. So if we say, okay, this job or this relationship, etc., does this match up with what I value in life and where I want to go? And that another thing, Melissa. So once you have your values, then I know you talk about intention. So your intention, your vision for where you want to go and who you want to be, are you aligning with that? So those are a couple of different things in how you can tap into your authentic self and carry that forward in your life.
Yes, and it's hard because a
Mhm.
lot of people in my community are starting to learn the importance of practicing behaviors that align to their core values and the
Mhm.
importance of I can't remember what the other thing that you said that was super important. Sorry, my dog
That's
really just like ran. I'm like, ah! So I got distracted. So
okay.
you said core values, and what was the other thing?
So core values and vision,
Yes.
your
Okay.
vision for yourself. Yes.
And we have a vision, and being ambitious and driven, we're very busy people, and sometimes being busy and always doing things, it
Yeah.
clouds our values, it takes us away from it. So we have to be very disciplined and very present to
Mm-hmm.
and aware. That's another huge word, is that we want to be aware of when we need to reconnect with those
Yeah.
people, our vision and our values.
Yes. And so taking time for yourself to do that almost every day, right? So I dedicate time to that. I would say at least 4 days a week. Okay. In full transparency.
Mhm.
And part of that practice for me is, okay, here are my values. Do these still match up with what I'm doing and where I want to go? And for a long time, they did. And just recently, Melissa, I actually completely changed my values. I have some of the same, but I deleted some and I added some new ones. And I keep them in my office on the wall on a big Post-it note. Okay, so I can see them. Another thing that people do sometimes with values is they put them in a little picture frame. So I have a friend that does that. She has it next to her bed. So first thing when she wakes up, so doing that, and I know you talk about gratitude. I have a regular occurring gratitude practice. I spend some time in reflection or meditation, and then exercise and reading. All of these things are so important in keeping us tuned in to who we truly are, because life is constantly changing and shifting, and so are we, right? We're in different situations, and it can be challenging to know who you are in any given moment if you're not connected to these things. So that is one of the reasons why I have that morning practice where I hone in on what I'm doing and where I'm going.
Yes, I love it. It gets you to focus.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It brings that awareness back. It brings you that focus that you
Mm-hmm.
need, that we all need, because I mean, this day and age, it is so easy to just like be like bing bing bing, like you
Yes,
just can't. It's hard. It's just
it is.
very hard. So I love that we talked about this, and how these practices can really just get us back to focusing. And when we're
Yes.
and don't you think that when we're able to focus fully, it
Mm-hmm.
really helps reduce stress,
Mm-hmm.
and it really helps to bring us back to authenticity, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And with authenticity too, and focus. So talking about focus, sometimes we focus on other people and how and sometimes that can overtake what we actually want to do or say, because we're thinking, well, what is this person going to think about me? Or is this person not going to like me if I say this? And there's really, going back to what we said at the very beginning, we can't control what that person thinks or what they say.
Yeah.
What we can do is control what we promote, right? And um, that person's actually going to be better off, unless we are intentionally trying to hurt them, right? We don't want to do that. But if we have a difference of opinion, that diversity, it just makes things better, and it helps everybody rise and leverage.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh, I love this interview so much. I am so excited, and I know everyone that's gonna be listening is just gonna be like, "Thank you," because sometimes it's really hard to digest this information.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is hard, and it's nice to have someone just put it out there in a very clear, easy, and accessible way. It's not rocket science,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's a practice, and you have to do it.
It is. It is. And the thing is, let's say we are not authentic. Let's say we choose not to be.
Okay.
And so we carry forward and we think about others and we people please and let's say we're in a corporate job and we are, just following the pecking order because we want a promotion or we want more money and we think this is the way that it's going to come to us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, number one, you're going to look like everybody else. You're going to be status quo. You're not going to stand out in any way. And number two, over time, and Melissa, you can probably speak to this too, but over time, if you repress who you are continually, things are going to come up, whether it's emotional instability or addiction or depression. If you are repressing who you truly are, you're going to have some kind of problems, whether it's mental or health problems.
I went through it. I'm a walking example of that. And it's hard to put it out there, but I completely became burned out. And burnout is now a diagnosis. And it's exactly what you're saying. I went through a period of almost like depression-like symptoms, just very exhausted, irritable. My performance was declining, and that was super hard for me because I am a high performer. I am a very ambitious driven person, and I knew something was wrong. And a lot of it was because I wasn't connecting anymore to who I truly was. So I appreciate you and just, saying that because it really matters.
Yes, it does. It does.
So
Yeah, it's important.
can I ask you another question?
Of course.
So we kind of talked about what happens when you're not being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you are?
Okay. So for me, somebody who has been authentic in many different situations, even when it's uncomfortable, right? It can be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But know with any growth, any type of fear that you are facing, and you're on the other side of that, and you come out and you go, wow, that was so much better than I thought it was going to be. Because so let's say you are in a situation and you put it out there, you use your voice and you are unique and you are authentic and you speak from that place.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to feel so much better after that than you would have had you chosen the other option to not be authentic. You just feel better and you connect with people in a better way too. You draw people to you that are more like you, and you, which feels a lot better, right? And you develop that community that reflects back to you that authentic behavior.
And also what we said at the beginning too with the whole self-doubt piece,
Uh-huh.
that probably completely gets wiped away and your confidence probably shoots way up.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing. People may have different reactions to you being this way, but what I found is that they are 9.9 times out of 10 inspired. Yeah.
I just wrote about that, and I said in a on my Instagram, I said, "Be who you are because you don't know who you're inspiring."
Yes,
And
exactly.
people aren't going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to,
Yeah,
because you don't need people's validation to do what you're authentically doing.
that's right.
But what you said is 9.9 out of 10 times you are inspiring. So just know that.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And how great is that, right? If you you get to show up, be you, share your original thoughts and ideas, and you inspire people to do the same. That's pretty cool.
It is. It's a movement.
Yes, absolutely.
And one of the last things that I wanted to ask you about too is this piece, this how we can create a movement and how a lot of this, it's so much bigger than just
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that, or give
Yeah.
us your thoughts on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, creating a movement. So taking a stand for something. So when I did the show, right, I took a stand for authenticity because I felt very strongly that we all need tools to be authentic and powerful in our own unique voice, because that is truly how we are all going to thrive. So that movement is comes from a place of passion and energy, like really high energy, right? Like I want to help people do this because I know in my own experience, my own body, what that feels like, what it the energy and how it has changed my life,
Yeah.
right? And so I want other people to experience that and feel that.
Yeah.
And that is what the movement's all about.
Mhm. It's about
Yeah.
creating more. Create,
Yes.
if it's creating more authenticity, creating more leaders, creating more
Yes.
people who are really authentically well and are confident
Yes.
in who they are.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, well, this was just an amazing interview. So authentic. You love what you do and you're so well versed in it. And it gave parts of it gave me chills because it's so important to spread the word and to really help and serve others get to this place.
Yeah. Mhm. So agree. Thanks,
Thank you.
Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you. And we will definitely, I'm sure you guys will see more of Chelsea because I just enjoy her energy so much and what she offers. So she'll be,
Thanks, Melissa.
thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.